Got it.
Hello, my name is Bishop Frank A. Willett, and I am the spiritual advisor to lead by example and reverse the trend. I'm sitting here today with the founder, author of this great program, and my good friend, my spiritual son, Antonio Hendrickson. Hi, Antonio.
How you doing, Bishop?
This is a great program that you put together. Would you tell us, first of all, what inspired you to write this program?
Well, it was a combination of a lot of things that brought this program into existence. First and foremost, before I go into that, I would like to give all thanks and praise to the Creator of the heavens and the earth and everything in between it and what's beneath it, for allowing me this opportunity to be sitting here with you and to come through what I have come through to gain the experience to produce something of this magnitude. The program is based on my studies and experiences through many years of being incarcerated. I came through the system at a time when the laws was very new. In 1990, I got locked up. My first federal incarceration. And prior to that, in 1986 and 1987, new laws came into existence. And before that, it was what they call, the government had declared war on drugs. And they made laws such as 50 grams of crack cocaine, if you got caught with that and charged in a federal charge, it would have got you a mandatory 10 years. And so what costs $500 on the street will get you 10 years of your life in prison. At the time I came in, the system was new, the sentences was harsh, and it was draconian. A lot of young men like myself, at that time I was 26, was getting sentenced to 10 years, 20 years. Some of us even got life for nonviolent drug offenses. And a lot of us had to endure that. Unfortunately, for us, the programs inside the federal institutions at that time was taken out, the Appel grants. So effective and efficient reform was not being done. And if men that were in there at that time didn't do anything themselves, they will go out worse off than what they were before they came in, because it was nothing to do. Now you're in an environment, whereas if you was in a state prison system, you would be around guys who were actually from that state. But by being in the federal prison system, now you're meeting men from all over this country and also from different countries. And so your criminal mind will be affected not only by what you learn in your state, but by the minds of other men from other states. So you become worse off.
Before you go no further, let me ask you this question. Does incarceration rehabilitate men inside?
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Can you explain?
Well, you have, all right, the numbers don't lie. In 1972, there was approximately 200,000 people locked up in the United States. By 1997, it went from 200,000 to 1.5 or 1.7 million. This 2013 going to 2014, and there's approximately 2.5 million people locked up, with another 5 million that's on probation, supervised release, or parole. So you got 7.5 million people attached in some way, form, or fashion to the criminal justice system. That tells me that effective and efficient reform is not being implemented in the federal and state prisons. It's not. It's not at all. And so as a result of those numbers, and as a result of what I suffered, this program, Lead by Example and Reverse the Trend, came into existence.
What makes this program so effective?
Well, the program deals with the individual. It deals with morality. It deals with values. Not saying that other programs don't deal with those things, but this program attacked the heart of the problem. It attacks the person, manhood. It attacks the person, womanhood. Everybody wants to be an authority in their lives. Everybody wants to have the right to make decisions in their lives. But what I learned that a lot of people don't want to take responsibility or liability for the decisions that they make and the conditions that they find themselves in. They want to blame other people for their problems. And so what we do is we take the focus off of people and put the focus on the individual. And what we do is we ask self-reflecting questions. And we go at the mentality. We manifest, expose the mentality, and move to break up the mentality that brought that behavior about. We deal with principles, and principles are rules of actions. So we ask individuals, what do you believe in? What do you stand for as a man? Not as a religious man, not as a gang, but as a man, what do you stand for? What do you believe in? And then we allow them to talk, because when a man opens his mouth, or woman, they allow you to look into their mind. And then we begin to move on what they think they are. And we take what they think they are and pit it towards reality and what really is.
What makes this program different from other programs that have been offered?
Well, what makes this program unique and different? Lead by Example teaches and advocates the knowledge of self, the power of truth, the importance of discipline, the wisdom of obedience, and the true meaning of love. Knowledge is not scholastic skills. It's not just reading, writing, and arithmetics. Knowledge is what separates human beings from animals. Knowledge is based on a rich history of the individual. This is what gives a person self-respect, self-love, when he knows what his people contribute to the advancement of civilization. And so what we do with our program is we give them an education that brings them from weakness into strength, from darkness into light, from hopelessness into hope. We bring them from ignorance into knowledge. Knowledge is the acquaintance of facts, truth, and principles. So we bring them into reality. What's real? What's real is you don't have a healthy relationship with your children because you're not healthy within yourself. You're a liar because you've never been true. You never commit yourself to anything. You say you love your family. You say you love your children. But love is what true love does. So we ask them, what do you do with your time when you're on the street? You spend more of your time chasing drugs, chasing crack, chasing coke, chasing dope, chasing women, chasing money. So that's what you truly love. And when they look at that, then they have to confess, yeah, you're right. And so what we do is we shift the attitude towards a new value system. As a man.
Does religion play a major part in this program?
Of course it does, but we don't impose religion on nobody. We teach the principles of all religion without actually using the word Jesus or the word Muhammad or the word God or the word Allah. We don't have to say that. We use words like principles. We use words like integrity. We use words like proactive. We use words like righteous, but we let them know what righteous mean. Righteous means doing the right thing, even when no one is looking. So this is what we do. And this is why we can embrace all people, because we know that we are dealing with a universal principle of cause and effects. And the more you know about these principles, the more wise you are about these principles, then the better your decisions will be made and the more good things you can bring into your life. and more prosperity you could bring into your life, and the more successful you could become at life. How do I know? I'm living it right now. I was in a place that was locked down. I came up with an idea that was far-fetched and made it work. Why? Because I had a determined idea and I worked principles. And people began to believe in what it is that we was doing. And we didn't just say this out of our mouths, we actually lived it.
How long has Reverse the Trend, Lead by Example been in existence?
Reverse the Trend been in existence since 2011. Lead by Example been in existence since 2012. Lead by Example is over a year old. Reverse the Trend would be 2 years old. And March of, if I'm not mistaken, March of this year, if I'm not mistaken, I think, okay, I'm wrong. Reverse the Trend will be 2 years old, March 2014. Lead by Example is a year old, October this past year. It just made a year old. And it will be 2 years old of October 2014. So Reverse the Trend got about 6 months or 8 months on Lead by Example. The reason we brought Lead by Example into existence is because we was dealing with the younger guys in CDF, and the older guys was like, what are you going to do for us? So we designed a program for them, Lead by Example, because the young men said that the older guys don't care and they don't know how to care. So we told them, man, you're supposed to set the example for the younger guys. So we created Lead by Example. And therefore we tell them, don't just say this, you got to live this. You got to be an example for these young guys.
Where was the inception of this program?
There's the inception of it?
Yeah.
It had, right there in CDF, Supermax.
What is CDF?
CDF is Supermax. CDF is Chesapeake Detention Facility. It was the Supermax, and what happened was the government needed a place to house detainees, and so the corrections, Baltimore Corrections, facilitated that process by housing and doing a contract with the Marshal Services. And so they moved the Supermax state inmates out of there, and they brought us in, who was in pre-trial. And it was in that situation that this program was born.
And how long were you in that facility?
I was in that facility a little under 3 years.
Okay. Now, after the inception of this program, what inspired you to put it together to the point where, well, tell us, what has it done for the correctional system at the Chesapeake? Oh
man, it done a lot. The respect level from the detainees with the women, we got a lot of guys that's in Chesapeake Detention Facility that were gang affiliated. Bloods, what they call this BGF, and for the most part, most of the guys that took our course was in that class, was in those different groups. And what happened was, as a result of our program and what the principles that we internalized through the program, it changed their behavior dramatically. And what happened was the respect level for the females, because a lot of females that worked there, went up. So much so that you had sergeants and corporals saying, man, this guy have changed. I didn't know he was in this class, but I see that he's been different since he's been in this class. This has been in the whole system, and they have changed among detainees. So it was a more harmonious atmosphere as a result of the program.
Has Lead by Example and Reverse the Trend affected the prison population?
Yes.
How?
We have 100% approval rating. We have a waiting list of probably about anywhere from 70 to 100 guys waiting to get in. We only can do 20 at a time because of the space. It's an 8-week program. And that was, we made it 8 weeks because that's all the time that the institution would allow us to have for our program. And when we asked what would you like, if anything, what would you change about the program? And all the participants said make it longer. And so we got 100% approval rating. We have a waiting list that's an extensive waiting list. and we got every last one of the participants learned something, and it changed their behavior.
Well, let me ask you this. What is the population size of CDF?
It's approximately 500 to 550 detainees.
And how many men have gone through your program?
Approximately 350 to 400.
Just about the whole system?
Just about the whole jail.
The whole jail. If that being the case, tell me the atmosphere as far as crime in the facility and the hostility toward the COs and the inmates. I like to call them inmates, not prisoners.
Detainees?
Detainees. What's the feel of that?
It's peaceful. It's peaceful. It's a more harmonious, brotherly type of situation. Guys that take the program, the first thing we establish is that we're a family. And we truly try to practice those principles because we are family. It's the human family. And so what we start to do is we try to treat each other like brothers. And what I mean by that is this. We don't want nobody to ever have to do anything in that institution like use contrabands to make money because their family on the street is not sending them things. So what we do is establish a brotherhood amongst that particular class, and we say before you do that, before you go and get involved with contraband and get yourself locked up in the other part of the jail when you can't call your children and or get a visit, bring that to us, and what we would do is, it's 20 of us in this class. We would all donate $1, $2, and get you $20 or $40 worth of commissary. That was painless. It didn't hurt none of us. And this is how we keep brothers from doing that, and this translates into behavior, something that we will do in the very near future when we go to the streets. It's because we don't have this in the streets. It's like every man for himself. But when you establish a brotherhood based on righteous principles and truly being your brother keeper, it transforms brothers' mentality or men mentality about each other. A lot of these young brothers join these gangs because they're looking for something to belong to. And these young older guys that get these young guys in these gangs uses them as tools and also slaves. They don't have coping skills. They don't have competency skills. They don't have no self-esteem. And so they put these guns, they put these drugs into their hands, and these young brothers go out there and do things not only to hurt themselves, but to hurt their community. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. And so when they come into lead by example and reverse the trend, we truly give them a vision, we give them hope, we educate them, and we say, listen, we're going to make it better. And we're going to do this together. And they believe it because we are true to it. I only been home a month. Yesterday was my birthday, and I'm still trying to get back in that institution to inspire them brothers to do the right thing.
Before we go into the book that you have on your lap, which is the manual, tell us the respect between the COs and the COs to the detainees.
Matter of fact, I can do better than that. I'm going to read to you one of the captains. And what he said out of his own mouth.
Now we're talking.
This is a memorandum from CDF, Department of Public Safety. This is a memorandum from Lieutenant Barksdale. He was a lieutenant, but he's now a captain across the street. He said, I am Lieutenant Barksdale, and I am currently the supervisor in charge of the Lead by Example Reverse Trend program. These two programs were started up, organized, and implemented by two detainees who thought of a way to better themselves and possibly other detainees, which while incarcerated at Chesapeake Detention Facility. They not only co-founded the program, but they were also the instructors of both programs, and it is clear by the presentation that a lot of time and effort went into putting the classes and individual sessions together. Since its inception, the program has been in high demand. There seemed to be a more positive reaction and interreaction from all detainees involved, both among themselves and towards staff. There is a waiting list for these classes. This is the first program of this sort here, and it is highly successful. The effort of the two detainees are highly appreciated and will not be soon forgotten. Got another one from Captain Davis. He said, I'm Captain Davis, a supervisor at Chesapeake Detention Center. I had the opportunity to observe the Lead by Example Reverse Trend programs implemented by detainee Antonio Hendrickson. Since the program, there has been approximately 240 detainees to successfully graduate at that time, date May 30th, 2013. The program continued to be in high demand for enrollment. The program has changed the thought process of many detainees while incarcerated here. Some testimonies of many detainees are, the choices made not only affect me, but others. Different ways to deal with my thoughts and actions. Knowledge on how to reevaluate themselves. To look at a situation in life differently. This program also created a positive environment for staff and detainees, which in turn, assaults on staff and detainees are low because now they are thinking for a change. If we are successful in reversing the trend by leading by example, the program is a benefit. Now, I didn't write this.
No, you didn't. Okay, that's the work to staff with COs and that level of management. Does it go higher?
Yes, we have warden. We got letters from the warden. We got letters from case management. The warden had to say something about reverse the trend. And this is from Robert Copper, warden, November 14, 2012. He said, please be advised that the above detainee submitted a proposal with detainee William Evans to create a reverse the trend program. This program was approved by the CDF administration. This program is built to stop the revolving door of prison that affect our young adults. The objective of the program is to reach the youth through real life experiences by sharing theory and practice in lesson plan formats. The lesson plans are specifically designed to enhance youth capability and instill standard core values. The following are examples of direct lessons which will be utilized. Character building, honesty and integrity, parenting skills, respect for self, family, and respect for authority, building and maintaining a healthy relationship, friends and communication, quality education, goals and purpose, substance abuse, the judicial system in prison, faith. The Reverse the Trend program has created high interest of participation by our detainee population, and we feel will have positive results for our institution. I would also like to thank and commend Mr. Hendrickson on all initiative towards the success of this program. This is from the warden.
Let me say this. To my knowledge,
Yes, sir.
and I've been around the block once or twice, I have never met anybody like you. I commend you as a young man, having been into the system, seen it for what it is, and took the time to put together a program such as this that is capable of helping a lot of people. The reason I'm saying this is because I was at your sentencing.
Yes, you was.
You know I was there. You asked me, you and your wife asked me if I would attend. And I was proud when I was able to tell the judge that not only were you astute, you were very cognizant of what you were doing, you were well versed and well learned. And you are not only a man who talks the talk, but you walk the walk. I'm proud of that.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us what the judge told you about this program.
Well, you know,
A federal judge.
I can't quote it to you word for word because I was kind of numb through the old experience. But what I can recall is that he said he had more respect for a person who actually walked the walk. A lot of people say things, but what impressed him the most is a person that actually do what he said. He liked the program so much that he allowed me to travel from New Jersey to Baltimore so I could continue this wonderful work. In fact, he encouraged me to take it to the young people in the high schools, in elementary schools, and the junior high schools before they get themselves involved with the criminal justice system. and make it their way to the state and then to the federal court. This judge really wants to help people. His name is the Honorable Judge Motts.
Would you elaborate on taking it to the schools and taking it to young people?
It's a lot of stuff that's going on in the schools with violence. And one of the things that we teach in our program is to reject violence and about peer pressure. I would love to take the program into the schools. I would love to create a relationship with the Board of Education, with those who are going on suspension, and have them to take the program while they are on suspension so they just won't be idle. And we could teach them, and we could share with them what's real and what's important and why they're in school. I would love to talk about bullies and being a bully and what that does to people, and go into why people should not do that, and explore why those who are doing this, right, why those who are doing this, where that comes from. Because there's something else going on that causes that type of behavior. Excuse me. Phone is going off. Hello, honey. I'm in an interview right now. The world is watching me. So can I call you back? All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Oh, that was my wife. Sorry, world.
Tell us what the judge told you that he wished this program to do in the state of Maryland.
The judge would like to see this program in the communities, into every detention center. Because the program talks about being responsible, being reliable, and being accountable for your own decisions. It speaks about changing criminals into law-abiding citizens and making law-abiding citizens proactive, meaning taking the initiative for their own lives, recognizing that to be effective in life, you have to take the initiative and you have to be responsible for your own decisions. And that whatever condition you find yourself in is not somebody else's fault. You don't blame nobody for that. You can change it. Responsibility means just that. You have the responsibility to choose your own response. The ability to choose your response. Nobody can make you do anything that you don't want to do.
This is true. You know, I have visited you many times while you were incarcerated.
Yes, sir.
And we talked for an hour, 2 hours, and you said a lot of things. But one of the things that you said to me that this program was going to do was going to help the brothers who are returning to become self-sufficient. Could you elaborate on that?
Yes. It's my desire because, see, in all sincerity, I'm not motivated by wealth. I experienced that. I'm not motivated by pleasure. I experienced that. I'm not motivated by honor and fame. What I am motivated by is to see human beings evolve and become better, and to see society become better. Society is going in a direction that is hurting a lot of the people that live in this society. To answer your question, a lot of people we ask in the program, what is it that stresses you? And they say taking care of themselves, taking care of their family. And so not only do we want to educate them and make them have morality and integrity and do the right thing, but we also want to create for them a means to make a quality income to take care of themselves and their family. And so what we wanted to do is not only make men qualify them for jobs, but make them into entrepreneurs. So self-improvement is truly the basis of community development. We created a plan where, okay, you go to work and you work that job, but that job is going to serve a means to an end. And you save your money, and then if it's 15 or 20 of us, if we pool our resources and 15 or 20 of us put $2,000 together, and create an investment club, we can buy that store and we can work that store together. And at the end, we can pay ourselves a salary. And at the end of the year, whatever profit or positive cash flow that we got at the end of the fiscal year, we can share that profit together. Or we can reinvest it and go get another store. So now, even though most men in prison, matter of fact, all of them, and the feds cannot vote, but yet now you have dignity and you have a voice because you're a pillar of the community. You own something. And you live in that community. Therefore, the money that you have will circulate in that community, and your children will have someone they can look up to and model their lives behind.
What about jobs? What about employment?
Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to create the jobs by becoming entrepreneurs. Guys with felons, right? Because of the unemployment rate being so high, we are the last ones to get the jobs. First, one, most of us are not educated. Two, we have felonies. Society is moving towards technology. And prison is not teaching nobody nothing. There's no Pell Grants. So these men are coming out knowing nothing. They not even got what they call trades. They don't have anything. And so if a man ain't got nothing and got nothing to do or no skills, what is he going to do? He's going to go back to that criminal behavior. So what we want to do is we want to educate them, bring them out of one state into another, get them to be disciplined, tell them, listen, we're going to create situations for you, a job for you. And what we're going to do is, with the program is, where every institution that employ it and buy the books, and we send our specialists in there to educate and to bring down the violence and bring these things down. We're going to take the proceeds from our program and invest it into their financial stability. We're going to invest it. They come home and they come into the reentry program and they stay clean and stay out of trouble and use their voice to be a mentor for the kids in the community until they get their cell phone. We will take our money and give them a stipend and get them clothes until they get themselves together. And when they do get a job, either working for something we created or somebody else, they will be saving their money towards doing something for themselves.
Great. Well, let me ask you this. You know and I know, and when this program is presented, the first thing somebody's going to know, what is it going to cost? Everything runs on money. Wait a minute.
I like that question.
Everybody wants to know, well, where you getting this money from? You ain't got, I don't want to use bad grammar. You don't have any money. We don't have a means of getting money. So where is this money going to come from that you can operate with? Explain that. Somebody's going to want to know.
Well, let me tell you something. I have people who believe in what it is that we're doing. You know, my wife's name is Sandra, and she's a wonderful woman.
Yes, she is.
And she's behind me 100%. And she have used her own savings to incorporate, to get the books done, to copyright, because she believes in it. And I know by the grace of God that the people are going to understand, and when they hear it, because I haven't spoken to nobody. This is the first time. I haven't spoken to anybody. I haven't promoted it to anybody. I just been working behind the scenes and doing all the things to put everything in place. So when we do go public and the people believe in it and they want it in these schools and in these detention centers and in these what they call juvenile detention centers, in prisons, then we will be able to have the monetary the means to be able to do the other things we would like to do.
Well, let me ask you this. Tell us how you have put this together. What have you done behind? You say that you're working behind the scenes. It seems like you've done your homework. Other than a business plan, what have you put together, or what have you compiled to make this go? What resources I'm speaking of?
Well, I did a couple of interviews. I got a couple of interviews lined up. I have a CPA. He befriended me, and he has lined up some interviews with me, for me with a couple of halfway houses, who have budget that that is a possibility they might employ the program. We just getting started. We have everything in place. You know, we have a corporate attorney to draw up the licensing for any institutions, the consulting fees, and things of that nature. All we are doing right now is basically presenting it to the world and to America and to anybody who would like to employ it, so we can continue to help better the human condition, and then take the proceeds from what we earn for our services and give it right back to the community.
Since the judge has instructed you to take this throughout the state of Maryland to all of the penal facilities, where would you want to start?
Well, you know, I want to start right here in Maryland. Right here in Maryland. Maryland seems, in Baltimore, right in the city of Baltimore. Why? Because, you know, this is my second home.
Okay.
I'm from New York, but I've been down here since 1988. And being that the program was born in the Chesapeake Detention Facility, known as MCAC, Supermax. And there's a gang element in this city that is devastating the community, that never had this. This is new to this city. I believe we have the solution to that. I believe we have the answer to that. And I have men that have street credibility, that have taken this program, that was a part of that type of negative element, and have denounced it and went back, and now they are examples of this program. One of them said, if I lose my wealth, I lost nothing. If I lose my health, I lost something. But if I lose my character, I lose everything. And so these men are men of characters, and they are sick and tired. They are done with the games that people play. They're done being deadbeat fathers. They're done being deadbeat husbands. They're done being womenizers. They're done being drug dealers, robbers. They're done with that. And now they have something that will enable them to do something for themselves and to improve their community. They're not going back into them communities the same people they were when they came in.
Let me ask you this. Right from the beginning, from the top, we said that the system has not rehabilitated these people whatsoever.
Matter of fact, let me give you some statistics. Speaking of the system, this is from the 21st century, the Sentencing Project. And I already gave you statistics about how the prison system have evolved in numbers from 200,000, right, to 2.5 million from 1972. But we also have the statistics in our book, lifetime likelihood of imprisonment. Men, 1 in 9 overall men are destined to go to prison in a lifetime. This is based on the birth rate, the death rate, and the incarceration rate. It's saying that 1 in every man that's born in this country is destined to go to prison in his lifetime. Blacks, 1 in every 3 black male born in this country is destined to go to prison. Hispanics, 1 in every 6 Hispanic male is destined to go to prison. And whites, 1 in every 17 is destined to go to prison in his lifetime. Women, 1 in 56 overall women are destined to go to prison in their lifetime. 1 in 18 black women are destined to go to prison in their lifetime. And 1 in 45 Hispanic women are destined to go to prison in their lifetime. And 1 in 111 white women are destined to go to prison in their lifetime. So the system knows. This is statistics. It's already mapped out. Get the beds ready, because they come into prison. We want to reverse or slow this process down, because it devastates the community. There's a father factor when a man is not there to take care of his children, in their education, in their substance abuse, in their mental abuse, in how females choose men, how sons behave in the streets, when the father's not home. You have a lot of children who are living with their grandparents, or just with their mother, or with their father when the mother's in prison. Or is it, we got the statistics that where most of them, half of them are in homeless, what they call it, orphan homes. So this is madness. So what we want to do is we want to reverse this. We want to change this. And it don't start with the people in the streets. It got to start with these men who are in prison going back to the streets, because if they go back the same way they came in, they're going to do the same thing, and they're going to corrupt the children in the streets, and they're going to be coming on into the prison. This can't stop.
You know, from what I'm hearing, from what you read, we're being played.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. The Attorney General, Eric Holden, I read, he said they have not been smart with their approach towards crime. They have been locking up nonviolent drug offenses. And the hardened criminals, you know, they've been locking them up too, but the prisons are 40% filled over capacity. And so they want to change the direction in which they are going with the criminal justice system. And this is not just partisan, Democrats, it's bipartisan. It's the Republican, Ron Paul. They saying this don't work, so they changing it. And so they want rehabilitation programs. And I think our program is the answer. I think our program is the answer. If the Attorney General will employ this program and use somebody like me who have went through the criminal justice system, who have the credibility with the people that's in prison and in the streets, who have changed and transformed his life by himself through self-improvement, using his life as an example and a model of what you can do. If you so choose and take this program, we can make a difference. We can slow down. Then it won't be a victim impact. Nobody will be a victim. Everybody will be happy, because it starts with the individual. Stop putting so much money into the communities and put the money into the people who will develop the communities. And if these men and women are working, it will add to the tax base. And they won't be a burden on the state by being on welfare. They don't want to be like that. They want to do better. They want to do better. But they need an opportunity. And the opportunity is now. And it's through this program. It's through this program or programs like this program. And we are willing to work with anybody. But our thing is, we are going to take responsibility as human beings, because we are not animals. You don't have to train us to be responsible. You train animals to be responsible. Human beings take responsibility. And so we as men who are locked up and tied, we're taking the responsibility of our own lives. And all we asking you is to help us do that. Help us by employing a program in these facilities. And allow us to go in and change the condition of these people's lives. That when they enter into their communities, they will develop their communities. They will be fathers to their children, husbands to their wives. And they will be a good neighbor and do unto their neighbor what they will have them do unto themselves. That is the moral law. That is the law. Do unto others what you will have them do unto you. So if you don't want nobody to shoot you, then don't go around shooting people. If you don't want nobody disrespecting you, then don't go around disrespecting people. You don't want nobody lying to you, then don't go around lying to people. You don't want your child to smoke cigarettes or use drugs, then you don't do it, because you are the model for your child to follow. That's what we're saying. We're saying lead by example and reverse these negative trends. Stop putting money on these things that you buy your children, being financial fathers, buying them Jordans and buying them all these things and making them think that that's what gives them status in this world, when that don't give them status in this world. Martin Luther King said, he don't judge people by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. So it's what's inside a man that measures, that gives a man value. Jesus said, out of the good things out of the good treasures of a good man's heart, he speak good things, and the bad man speak bad things. And so it is what's in the heart and the mind of the individual. So what we want to do is we want to give them a new direction, a new vision for their lives. and so they could take individual responsibility for their lives. And now, if you want to go to our website, go to www.leadbyexample-reversethetrend.com, all lowercase, and you can read the testimonies of individuals who have took this program from 24 to 54 and see what these men had to say as a result of going through this program.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, you ever heard from Antonio Hendrickson, author and founder of this wonderful program. If you wish to hear any more, invite him. Sit down, talk to him live. With that, we say good night.